Hello. How are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My internet went down at home because of all the rain, so I'm at Panera. Hi, baby. How you doing? He's got big, Kristen.
I know. He's 5 months old as of yesterday.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy.
He's sick right now with his first cold.
Aw, poor baby. All right. Well, it looks like we have quite a few of you guys online, which is great. So let's just kind of touch base on the project. How's it going for everyone? Any questions?
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
So my partner and I, our third person dropped out, but I found another person and I just interviewed them yesterday. So I got them to sign a release form. But if I resubmit it with my other one, will it show up as like me turning in the assignment late?
It will, but that's not a problem. Just go ahead and still submit it and just put a little note in the comments section. Say this is the third one. We had to find an alternative just so I know. But that'll be fine. Yeah.
All right. I was just thank you.
No problem. I'm glad you're able to find someone else. How did the interviews go?
They went really, really well. The one I just did was in person, and the first one I did was a recording. So kind of got a combination of stuff.
Good. And how about for the rest of you? How did the interviews go?
Good.
Did you find some good information?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. And how are the lesson plans coming? Kristen's like,
I wanted to just talk to you about mine like after the Zoom session.
Okay. All right. How about for everyone else? How are the lesson plans coming? I know there was a question, I think Alexandra, I don't know if you're on right now, about detail in lesson plans. So I put in the exemplary example for you guys to follow and look at. Just make sure to kind of take a glance at that. That's the detail I'm looking for within the plan. If it's like a one-pager, it's probably not going to be enough. It doesn't have to be the full like 4 or 5 pages I think the exemplary one is, but think somewhere kind of like in the middle, maybe like on a 3-page description within your lesson. So if somebody wanted to actually teach it, they know what to do and like what kind of questions to ask.
So I had a question regarding that actually.
Mm-hmm.
So on that lesson plan, it was kind of like it showed like 1 or 2 bullets on your lesson plan. It was almost in a paragraph form, and all of my lesson plans, like the example one I sent you, was in a very bulleted form, and it like has enough detail that I think somebody would be able to teach it. But are you wanting everything written out in like a paragraph form, or are you wanting just enough detail that somebody can teach it?
Just enough detail that somebody can teach it. If it's easier to bullet it, like easier for you to read or for someone else to read, that's completely fine. Just like when you say, I'm going to read the book and ask questions. Well, where are you going to ask questions? What kind of questions might you ask? Give me just a little bit more detail like that. So if I were to pick up the book and try and teach the lesson, I know what questions I should be asking and where I should stop to ask those questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess based on that lesson plan, the only thing that kind of confused me is how like actual student responses. But how do you know how a student's going to respond? Like I have a very diverse class that I'm in, for instance, and so their responses can range significantly, and it's kind of hard. Like you kind of have to fly by the seat of your pants sometimes.
Yeah, no, and don't worry about like the student responses per se. Like I said, they went above and beyond trying to come up with what a student might say. But since you're in a different class and it's a different situation, just like what kind of prompts would you give? And we'll just assume that we're going to respond differently based on those prompts. So you don't have to do the student responses. Just enough so that we know like what kind of questions, if I were going to pick up the book and ask, what kind of questions were you thinking I should ask? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was going to ask about the release forms. I think I went through and I checked off most of the release forms from everyone. There were a few that didn't have group members' names on them or one group member's name. Go ahead and if that was the case or a signature wasn't done, resubmit the form. I opened up the box again so you can resubmit the forms when they're complete and make sure both group member names are on it. But like say you divided up the interviews, like one person did 2, one person did 1, you can highlight or bold or something the names. I know who did the interview, but I still need both group members' names on the form. Does that make sense? Did everyone get that on the release forms? Okay. And then the videos, let's talk a little bit about that. I know we talked about submission of the videos. I'm setting up the Padlet page now, and I'll post that this week. So you can put the link for your video. How you put it together is entirely up to you and your partner. If you want to use like iMovie or Adobe Spark, video, whatever format you're most comfortable with, I don't really care. I know in the description, I said to go ahead and use a VoiceThread to kind of talk us through it. But the video should be standalone. You really shouldn't have to use VoiceThread. I mean, VoiceThread can be an option for how you put it together. But whatever you do, you want to upload the link for the video into YouTube or upload the video into YouTube and then send the link to the Padlet page. So once you guys have finalized your video, you'll just submit the link for the YouTube, and that's how everyone will be able to watch them. And next week, we're going to be watching the ones done on campus in class. So the goal is for you guys to get this submitted early next week, and then we'll set up like a little response where people can watch 1 or 2 of the other group's videos and do a response to it. So at least you have a chance to see other people's videos and what they put together. Does that make sense? And if anyone has any great ideas on that, I'm open to it. I'm thinking just like a discussion board or like even maybe a Flipgrid response where you guys can say, hey, I watched the group on religion and I watched the group on social justice, and these are the things I really got from the videos. And then we can just do a quick response like that so you have a chance to view some other groups' videos as well. Does that sound good? Okay. And then the lesson plans themselves aren't due until the 17th, I believe is the date that was on the schedule. So your lesson plans and your fact sheet don't have to be turned in until that week of finals. If you have them done ahead of time, you can definitely turn those in beforehand, but you have until the 17th to get those in.
Are you going to have a submit button open before then?
I'll have that same Padlet page where you're going to upload the link to the video. I'll have your topic name, and you just put the link for the video, and then you'll put the link for the lesson plans right under it as well. So it'll be all go to the same Padlet page. And then because remember the lesson plans, however you put them together, you want to, in the end, put them all in one Google Doc so we can scroll through the lesson plans and see them all. And then the fact sheet, you can put at the end of those lesson plans or have a separate Google Doc for the fact sheet and submit that link too. So it can be 3 links, the video, lesson plan, and fact sheet, or just 2 links, the video with the lesson plan and fact sheet put together. But it'll all go on the Padlet page. So again, if people want to see it, or, pull, like, say someone's like, I really like the lessons they did on military, I want to use this in the future, so I'm going to download those as a reference. They can do that by just going to the Padlet page and clicking on the link.
So each group is building their own Padlet page that they're uploading?
I'll have the Padlet page already set up, and I'll send it out in an email, the link to the Padlet page, and every group will put it on the same Padlet page.
Okay, and so we have to have a link for the video and a link to a Google Doc that has all of the lesson plans and our fact sheet and our citations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The fact sheet and citations go together. So you'll have your fact sheet, like the information on the front, and then your citations and APA on the back. Or if your fact sheet goes like a page and a half, just the references at the end. And remember, the fact sheet is really just like, what were the most important points you took away from your references, and you're just bulleting those out under each. You might just have like article name and a couple bullets, article name and a couple bullets, and on the back the full citation. That way, if I want to go and learn more about this topic, I'll be like, oh, this article really highlights this and this. I can go back in and read it more on my own and get more information from it. So the fact sheets, just kind of think of it like as a cheat sheet. If I want to look really smart about your topic, these are the main things I'd want to be able to say. Does that make sense?
So can the fact sheet also be like better elaboration on certain things.
Yes.
Like if we have some facts in the video and then have separate facts on the fact sheet that
Yes.
elaborate more on the topic.
Yes, that's a great way to say it, Alexandra. So definitely more of an elaboration than what you put in the video. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, I really like the way you said that, because it's supposed to be the video, what you're putting in there is just kind of supporting the interview information and giving some general information and facts, but the fact sheet goes into more depth. It still has bullet points about the topic, but it's going to give you more detail than what would be in the video. Does that help clarify? Okay. Looks really late. You guys all look really tired. You feel like no, you look like I feel. Very tired. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday. Any other questions of the project? I think those were the main points I wanted to make sure we went over. But any other questions you can think of?
This is kind of specific to mine and Amy's project. The first video, I'm interviewing a girl from Bosnia, and she's graduating college. So I was able to get our first interview done on Saturday, but the deal to submit it wasn't open, so I had to submit it in the lesson plan, and we weren't, I forgot to email you that I put it in the lesson plan, so I just didn't know if that would be counted late or what we needed to do on that.
No, that's fine. Now that you reminded me now that you told me it's in the lesson plan, I'll just look for the link there and go back in and put the score.
Okay, and if we need to open the other one, I can submit it there as well. I just, I was trying to get it submitted on that day so that you knew that we did have one done.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I might just go back and open up the Dropbox for the video. That's all in one spot. I know the videos are there and lesson plans are another. So I'll open up those boxes, which actually leads me to another question. Does anyone else need or let me say my question, a statement. If you have a journal you missed and want to try and get some partial credit for, just shoot me an email and I will open up the box for that journal till next weekend. So have a week to work on it. And you can still get partial credit for journals that you've missed. I think I've gone through and I've gotten the first few of the scores in there for you. I'm working on trying to get the rest of those done by the end of the week. So if you're not sure if you're missing something, by Friday you should know if you're missing an assignment. But let me know if you need me to open up a box or something for you, and I can definitely do that. Okay? Any other questions about that anyway? Project-based, we're feeling good about it? Thumbs up. All right, I like that, Sarah. Excellent. Everyone else doing okay with the project? Bailey, Christian, Megan, Anna, any other questions about that? Okay. For the journals, we're done now with all the official journals. We just have that one left, which is Journal 14. I went in, I think it was your guys' group, and I know a few people had already responded yesterday to Journal 14. Journal 14, I don't know if I've disenabled on yours, but it should be just individual reflection on the course. You don't have to do peer responses to Journal 14. With that, if you've already answered the journal, go back in and look at the prompts. I did change them a little bit, and just make sure you've answered the prompts that are there. It's just kind of what were 3 things you took away, your biggest insights, 2, it's kind of like a 3, 2, 1. I don't remember exactly what I put for the prompts. It was similar to what you already answered, just a little bit more specific. So if you've already done the journal, go back, please, for 14 and just look at the prompts to make sure you answered those specific prompts. Okay? I don't think everyone's done that. And for that one, you have until May 7th to do it, but I left the box up until the 11th. So if you need extra time for that reflection, that's completely fine. It's kind of my way to get a little bit more specific feedback on the course, particularly the online version of it. than just the T-Val. But there will be a T-Val at the end of the semester too. Okay. Any other questions you can think of? Everyone's really quiet. Amy, any questions out there? Overall, the course has been good. Have you guys gotten a lot out of it?
Definitely have.
Good, good. Have you liked the videos of the different presenters? Were those helpful to see?
For sure, especially the TED Talks too.
Good, good. Yeah, I really like the TED Talks. I think there's such good information out there. I just wish we had more time to embed that kind of stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else specific. We talked about the project, talked about the journals. Those are the main things we did in this class. Oh, I think at the end of that prompt for the journal, I did say like any recommendations you might have. So if like, particularly for you guys since you're online, if you have specific things you wanted to see more of or do more of, you know, if you have suggestions to make it more interactive or recommendations to improve the project, please be sure to add that kind of stuff. Because I know it's been a little bit of a challenge since we're such a small class and there are only 2 of you per group. In a way that was beneficial because when you're online and distance, it's hard to like manage a larger group, but also it's a challenge when there's just 2 of you trying to do everything as well. So any recommendations or tips you have, please feel free to share those for future classes. Okay. Because this is the first time I've done the videos weekly, but I thought they would be beneficial. And from what I'm hearing, you guys have liked those and that has helped a lot to kind of get that content side of it too. So anything else you can think of? Any other questions, comments? Do you guys believe it's the end of the semester? 1 more week and we are done. It's crazy.
I was going to ask, will we have like a final quiz? Did you mention that? Like, will we have a final test at the end?
There's no final test. The project's really going to be the final.
Okay.
And then you'll have the T-Val as well. For me, like the reflection piece you're going to do in Journal 14 is really going to give me the most feedback. So that's what I'm looking most forward to in terms of getting your guys' insights, takeaways, and then any recommendations you might have too.
Okay, so that's going to be our T-Val.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's going to be a 2-part. You'll have an official T-Val that comes through K-State Online. That's a distance-based one. But what you're doing for Reflection 14 or Journal 14 is really kind of gives me more information for a future class. It's going to be more detailed than, you know, just questions on a T-Val.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you can take that kind of, you know, really reflect on that and give me some information that would be beneficial for future classes, I would really appreciate that.
Okay.
So, and then I think I've tried to go through and update everything. I do need to give the feedback on the lesson plans a little bit more, but I think for the project side of it anyway, all the feedback's been submitted. If you and your group don't have something, let me know and I can definitely go back in and look at that. Or if you just submitted something like Sarah was saying, you guys just got the interview in, I'll go back now and look at that and add in the score for that. Sound good? Okay. So any other questions you have? How about Bailey, Megan, any questions? No? Feeling good about it? Okay. All right. This week, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the video. We're doing a lot of work time in class. And then I did have a parent panel come in today to talk to them. So I didn't video those because they were like just kind of small group tables talking to different parents. And then also I had some student teachers come in. But I'm not sure that I'll send out a content video this week. I'll post the Zoom session right now that we're doing, so you'll have that. But I probably will leave like just one more video next week, and we'll be done with the videos that are online as well. Okay. Like Mason's happy about that. He's like, yay, no more videos. Any other questions you can think of or clarification I can provide? Looks like I have almost at least one person from almost every group, and I know there are a couple of you that are partners, but glad to see so many of you online tonight. How's the weather where you guys are? Is it good? Is it rainy?
I mean, I'm at Fort Riley and it's gross.
Yeah. My daughter actually went there for swimming tonight. They swim at the long pool, and they got there at 5. They delayed half an hour because of the rain, and then it started thundering. So like, okay, we have to delay another half hour. And the coach is like, yeah, let's just leave. We're not going to stay until 6 o'clock and maybe get in the pool. So
My house on is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. Like, they're duplexes, so I have a neighbor who's connected to me, and the thunder was still shaking the whole unit.
oh my gosh, that is crazy. So how about the rest of you? Do you have lots of rain and thunder out there?
Nope, it's nice and warm here.
Ah,
Warm.
lucky you.
Yeah, I'm soaking it all up.
You need to enjoy it, definitely. This Kansas weather teases us, you know. We got a little bit of a glimpse of that warm summer stuff, and then it gets all cold and yucky again. Very unpredictable. It's one thing I don't like about Kansas. You can never say what's going to happen one day to the next. But, all right. Well, if you guys can't think of anything else, and I can't think of anything else, I think I'll let you go. I'll send out an email reminder about, you know, the stuff we talked about, and I'll post this video too in this week's course modules if you want to look back at it to get clarification on anything. I know, Sarah, you're going to stay on with me to ask questions. Is that right? Or who? No, Kristen.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone else have any questions before we sign off? All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And I will touch base again next week. I'll send out an email this week, touch base next week with the last content video, and we will be wrapping up the semester. I can't believe it. So thank you for all your hard work. All righty. Well, I'm going to let you go. If you just want to log off, I'm going to talk to Kristen real quick. But if anyone else has any other questions, feel free to stay on and ask away. Okay. Well, they're logging off, Kristen. So give me just a second. There are 2 left. Baby is so cute.
Okay, I'm gonna ask one question before y'all get started because I'm just double checking.
Mm-hmm.
How many total lesson plans to have of all this?
3. It went
3. Okay.
yes, and Gym Partners 3. And then if you end up doing a 4th one, it'll be extra credit. So like
Okay.
if you want to divide it
For some
to
reason, me and Amy thought that there was 5, so I was about to freak out. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to.
Yeah, for the groups that I had more in, they are doing the 5, but I thought it was kind of unfair to make you guys do so many. And we had taken it down to 4, but then I thought, you know, still that's like double the work for you guys. So we moved it to 3.
Okay, and you would just like us to keep doing them over the books that we picked out during the like the child book still?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm just double checking. I've been kind of crazy with all of my classes so far, and I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
that
no, it's been a
I'm
big
letting
time.
y'all talk. So thank y'all.
Okay. Thanks, Sarah. It's good to see you.
Yes.
Alrighty, it's just us. Let me stop the recording real quick, and then